is the perfect camera. All I want is the perfect camera.
So I took the Nikon Z6 III out with the 600mm 26.3 prime, and we got some wildlife happenings. A lot of squirrel action and some nuthatchers and Bigfoot. If you must know, we're on the Canon C70 with the 24mm 1.4, 12-bit RAW, of course. It's a humble setup. First thing I saw was a gray squirrel, majestic, eating a peanut of some sort, 6K 60 RAW. It was windy as all heck. I was like, oh, his tail's blowing in the wind. Oh, that's majestic. He is eating. It was so cold. I regret living in this country. We then punched into 4K 120 RAW with the left-handed mode dial that I knocked my head off with and had to dig my nail inside in the freezing cold, and my nail flew off just like that peanut. That's replicating what happened to my finger. Not bad. Little 1.5 times crop on it, but I don't mind it because that's fun. I get closer and slower with it, so it's a decent mode to have. I then saw his bigger brother, the raccoon. He had an orange tail. It was curled up. Sometimes he sleeps in there and he turns around and you can see his face, and he's cold and sad, but it's cute. Saw this hawk flying. I was like, oh, I'm getting it. There was almost like nothing up until this point, and then I saw him. I was like, oh boy. Manually focusing on it, of course. You could see the peaking. I do love Nikon in that you're autofocusing and then you just touch the focus wheel and it just starts manually focusing, usually. Sometimes it doesn't kick in, it reverts back to autofocus for some reason, but it's a glitch. Now this next scene, I got faked out. I was walking with my fiance. She says, there's a squirrel up in the tree. I'm like, another squirrel, huh? Yeah, okay, whatever. And I look up, I see something moving. I was like, okay, there's the squirrel, whatever. I look on, we get closer. A blue jay flies out of that tree. I was like, that was a blue jay. If she hadn't said it was a squirrel, I would have looked closer at that thing. And so it ended up flying like 900 light years away from me, but we got a pathetic shot of it, and it's not bad. You punch on in there, 6K. Come on, that's fine. This is where like 8K might come in handy as they jump to their death. And he survived. No, not that one. I don't know if you can get a more beautiful image though. The RED Luts making black squirrels somewhat bluish in their tint and little white wisdom at the end of his tail. That's a beautiful little color science shot. A little green in the back, but brown in the front. He almost went up there, but he decided against it. He was like, that route will bring me death and doom. So I followed him. He's underexposed, but you can lift the shadows with no noise penalties because Nikon has no noise in their sensor. It's the best sensor for noise. If you want none, get Nikon. Here's a good example. Black squirrel, backlit, super bright sky. Can you lift the shadows to see what he actually was without any noise? The answer is, of course you can. It's Nikon. Wow. Thanks, Nikon. See you later, buddy. I doubled back around to see that raccoon, and he hadn't moved. He moved a little. Come on, admit it. The tail's in a different position. He wiggled a bit. I missed it, but he moved. I'm always thinking of what to upgrade. Like this, I could love a Canon EF 50mm 1.2 in here. That might be fantastic. If I see a good enough deal, we'll pounce on it. But like the Nikon, that's the pinnacle. I don't see anything being better than that. Like the Fuji 500mm prime, it'll be more reach, but that's not really what you need. 600 has been fine for most of my career. This is a career. Saw a little nuthatcher. I was like, hey, buddy, when you're 600mm and you get a little shot like that, like, are you hating that? Do you really need to be like a portrait of that bird? Is that better for you? You're gonna miss all of his movements. It's kind of fun to punch in sometimes. I have debated buying the teleconverter just for the heck of it to see what would happen, but I feel like I don't need more reach. I've always been quite happy with 600. And then if you're punching into like 750, 840, it's like for a prime, that can be tough to get the focus initially. 600 can be hard enough. Like prime, it's much easier to have a zoom and then zoom in and then but I like the prime look and the feel, and they're lighter and sharper and more 3D pop. Come on now. So that nuthatcher, 600 mil, that's all you need. Oh, where's he going? Ah, he peeked. He peeked out. Oh, that is too cute. And then he ran away forever. Oh, how dare you. I miss the days where I was just getting started and it seemed like every time I went out, I saw something I'd never seen before, like a Carolina wren or like one of these nuthatchers. I didn't know what that was, or a brown creeper, or we saw the owl like the first time I went out. And this was autofocus. Thanks Nikon for nothing, by the way. But if you manually focus, kick it back in, you might get some shots. So like, it's more fun to manually focus, except when they're moving really fast, that can be annoying. But it seems like I don't see anything new anymore. I don't know if this forest is dead. I haven't seen an owl since that first one, and like almost nothing magical. I should have been seeing like fox babies and like eagles stealing raccoons out of their homes. I'm not seeing a ton, but I guess I don't go out enough or at the right time. What the hell was that? Oh, how dare you steal that thing. As the CN Tower towers above the buildings, they realize they'll never be as tall as their brother. And that's okay, because they hold more office worker slaves. Now, the best footage of the day possibly came at the very end. I'm walking home and I'm on an actual street and I saw all these sparrows. I was like, sparrow action in 240 frames per second. I do believe we are doing that today. So, saw a bunch of sparrows and they were curious about something across the street. But would they do it with me in their presence? Oh, they would. Oh, they're going to it now. It was a bird feeder, and you have no skill if you're filming birds at a bird feeder. You gave up in life at this point, and you allowed someone else to do all the work and capture a perfect thing. Oh man, if I was having like a home, I would totally have bird feeders in my backyard. I'd just be sitting out there with a heater next to me and like hot chocolate. Oh, he's killing him. He's trying to kill him. Oh, that is dangerous times. But you can see why I want HD 480 frames per second, can't you? This is 240, it's not bad, but like we're done with that. Where's the HD 480 already? And that's not even slow enough. Where's my 1000 frames per second in 4K that looks like 9K? That's what I'm waiting for. But other than that terrible left-hand dial that ruins my life every time I go out and shoot and I have to stick my nail in to turn it and switch modes, like it really is almost a deal breaker, there's no getting better than this. For the weight, the cost is up there, but it's not very heavy at all, especially with that shoulder strap now. It's like one of the lighter setups and it's full frame 600 mil and it's a prime, like it's insane the quality. If you can find a used deal on that lens, like highly recommended. Like this, you can't do better. You might be happier in the Z8. You could do your 8K 60 and 4K 120 with no crop, or use that 2.3 times crop mode in 4K 120. You have no HD 240 and that really sucks. But like whatever, you'll survive it and you get your custom banks instead of that stupid mode dial. But there's no other system that has the primes like that except Fuji. I could totally get magic with that Fuji 500mm if we're being honest with you. It would just be mostly back button focus, manual tweaks at that point. But like the magic would be ours for sure. And you pick all your film sims like Nostalgic Neg, do that for an entire day. Okay, we're doing bleach bypass now. That could be fun. But like Canon, you're only doing zooms. What is that? You're like 200 to 800, that's a ghetto lens. That takes like 16 reaches to get to the top. No thank you to that. Sony's very clinical and the wavy stabe, no primes. There's no system. Really, the Panasonic G9 II with the 200mm, cool. Not enough reach. Olympus, you're seriously debating Olympus. That 300mm lens, that's your spot right there. If that would work on a Panasonic body, you might have something, but you don't. My lighting screams that I'm trying too hard. That's on me. I don't know what I'm doing. There's no room. I tried it on this side. I would have backed it up if there was room to back it up. You think I want that in the shot? You think that was an artistic style choice? It was me being a prisoner of my own mind. Could I have turned it this whole time and that would have been completely out of the shot? No. I'm going to go. Thank you for the Bitcoin donations. What do you think of that footage, huh? Nikon. For the win. It wins sometimes. Subscribe for more, don't say